In this video, I will walk you through adding and configuring the Start task. To begin, drag a Start task from the Activity Library to the right of Start. Make sure the Start task is over the connector and that it is highlighted in green. Then release the Start task. Click Add New Form. Type Expense Report for form name. Then click Next. Then click Finish. Close Form Settings by clicking the X in the upper right-hand corner. Click Columns, then select 2. Click OK. This gives us the basic layout needed to configure the expense report. Click Common Controls in the toolbox, scroll down, and drag an image control into the first column. Replace image 1 with header image. Then close Field Settings. Next, hover over the image control and click on Image Picker. In this case, I'm going to click on Public URL to reference a common organizational image that will be used for our application. Then click Tab and click OK. Next, hover over the right edge of the image and drag it across both columns to fill the form. Next, scroll up in the toolbox and drag a text box into the first column. Type Name into the label for text box 1. Because we know the identity of the user opening the form, we will default the value. To configure the default, click Process Data, System Data, scroll down and select User Full Name. Drag User Full Name into the default value. Then collapse Process Data. Because name will have a default value, we will make the control read-only. Click Behavior, check Read-Only, and close Field Settings. Next, scroll down in the Common Controls and select the Date control. Drag the Date control into the second column. Type Date Submitted into the label for Date 1. We will also set the default value for the current date, then click Behavior and uncheck Enabled. Then close Field Settings. Next, scroll up in Common Controls and select a text area control. Drag it into the first column underneath Name. Type Business Justification for the label of Text Area 1. Click the Configure tab and mark it Mandatory, then close Field Settings. Hover over the right edge of Business Justification and drag it across both columns. Then click Adjust Width. Hover over the right edge of Business Justification and drag it until it aligns with Date Submitted. Then click Adjust Width to return to standard view. Next, scroll down in Common Controls and select the Subform control. Drag the Subform control into the first column under Business Justification. Type Expenses for the label for Subform 1. Click Configure and select Mandatory, Show Label, and Repeatable. Scroll down and set 50 for the maximum occurrences. Then close Field Settings. Place the cursor over the right edge of Expenses and drag it so that it fills both columns. Next, hover over Expenses and click the Design Subform icon. Click the plus by columns to add 2 additional columns. We will need a total of 4. Next, go to Common Controls, scroll up until Date is visible, and drag a Date control into the first column. Type Expense Date into the label for Date 2. Click Configure and select Mandatory. Then close Field Settings. Next, scroll up in the Common Controls and drag a text box into the second column to the right of Expense Date. Type Expense Description for label for text box 2. Click the Configure tab, select Mandatory, and close Field Settings. Next, drag a drop-down list control into the third column to the right of Expense Description. Type Expense Category for label. Next, click the Configure tab, select Mandatory. We will be using an inline list of values. In this case, we need to add each option that will be available in the drop-down. Click Add Option. Type Accommodation for the name and value of Option 2. Then click Add Option. Type Advertising and Promotion for Option 3. Then click Add Option. Type Auto Expenses for Option 4. Click Add Option. Type Bank/Finance Charges for Option 5. Then click Add Option. Type Books and Journals for Option 6. Then click Add Option. Type Business Entertaining for Option 7. Click Add Option. Type Cell Phone for Option 8. Click Add Option. Type Computer Hardware for Option 9. Click Add Option. Type Computer Software for Option 10. Click Add Option. Type Insurance for option 11. Click Add Option. Type Interest Payable for option 12. Click Add Option. Type Internet and Telephone for option 13. Click Add Option. Type Meals for option 14. Click Add Option. Miscellaneous for option 15. Click Add Option. Type Office Supplies for option 16. Click Add Option. Type Postage for option 17. Click Add Option. Type Printing for option 18. Click Add Option. Type Staff Training for option 19. Click Add Option. Enter Travel for option 20. We have just entered a standard set of expenses for employee reimbursement. Please feel free to customize these to meet your own requirements. Next, close Field Settings. Scroll down in Common Controls and select a number box. Drag the number box into the fourth column to the right of Expense category. Type Expense Amount into the label for Number Box 1. Click Configure, select Mandatory, and close Field Settings. Next, close the Subform Designer. Next, click Advanced Controls in the toolbox. Next, drag the formula control into the first column underneath Expenses. Type Expense Total for the label of Formula 1. Then close Field Settings. Next, hover over Expense Total and click on the Formula icon. In the Formula Builder, we want to enter a formula that will total expense amount in the Expenses subform. To begin, select the function Sum. Then click Insert. Highlight the $curly bracket number array, then select Field Tokens and choose Expense Amount. Replace the word this with an asterisk. This will include all expense amounts. Then click the Validate button. Close the confirmation and click OK. This completes the configuration for the expense report form. Click Save to save our progress. Close the validation. Click the icon in the upper left-hand corner to return to the application builder. Then click Next. Type Submit Expense Report in the display name for Start Task 1. Then click Next. Because the Start task will create a new instance of the expense reimbursement process at runtime when it is submitted, the task is automatically assigned to the process initiator, or the person that starts the new workflow instance. Click Finish. Click Save to save our progress. This completes the configuration of the Start task and the content for this video.